Okay, so today we're going to learn about frequency distributions. And you can see with this data set that it's not really well organized. So what we're going to do is we're going to organize this data to look a little bit nicer and then use that information to kind of maybe answer questions or figure out percentages or things like that. So when I look at this again, it's not really ordered that well. So they want us to create a frequency distribution with a width of 10 and starting with the lowest value of 110. So generally you want to start with the lowest value so that you include all the points, and it looks like in here 114 is the lowest point, so we need to include it. And they want us to count by tens. So I guess we'll call this the frequency on this side, and these are kind of the width of the interval. So we'll start at 110. And you always want to go one lower than like the max number. So this will go to 119. This will go from 120 to 129. And you can see that would include 10 numbers then. So this would be 130 to 139. This would go from 140 to 149. This is the tedious part, just writing everything in. 150 to 159. I think the activity I give you today, they write these in for you. So, and then we got to make sure we include the biggest number, which is 188, I think. So, since it is 188, we'll just have to make sure that that is included. So this would be 170 through 179. And then 180 through 189. Perfect. Now we just have to list how many of these things are there. So there's at least 1, 2, and I don't see any more. So we have a frequency of 2 there. Now, this just becomes a game of searching. So, there's at least 1. I think only 1. At the end, we'll be able to tell because we're going to cross them all out and see if we get any in the wrong categories. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, and I already see a mistake that we made because there's another 129. So this one is up to 2 now. 140, so let's just go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then this would be 150, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That one's a large category. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. And 1 for the 188. If you would have nothing in a category, that's fine. You can put 0. So that's the frequency. Sometimes they want the percent of these frequencies. So if they want the percent, what you can do is you just take the total numbers here. So to find out the total, you would just add all of these frequencies up. So 2 plus 5 plus 9 plus 13 plus 6 plus 2 plus 1. So there's 40 of these things. So if we got 2 divided by 40, that's going to be 5%. Whoops. Get my pen back again. So that would be a 5%. This would be a 5%. I don't know what an eighth is anymore. I used to. Whoops. 5 divided by 40 is 12.5% or about 13%. But we'll put this in as the decimal. 9 divided by 40 is 22.5%. 13 divided by 40 is 32.5%. And you can see, like, this isn't hard, 5%, and then we just have to do 6 out of 40, and then 1 out of 40. 15, and then 0.25, so that's 2.5%, and I already forgot what 6 out of 40 was. 15%, there we go. Okay. So that is the percents. Now we have something called a cumulative frequency. And that's really easy to do. Cumulative frequency just means you add it as you go along. So this one would be 2, that's 4, that's 9, that's 18, that's 20, or whoops, that's 32. That's 38, that's 40, and that's 41, which I added something wrong then. 2, 4, 9. 9 and 9 is 18. Ah, that's 31. There we go. Whoops. 31, 37, 39, and 40. Huzzah! So cumulative frequency just means you add them as they go along. Same with cumulative frequency percents. So if they do a cumulative frequency with the percents, you would say this is 5%, then 10%, then 22.5%, then 45%, 70. This is where you guys get to see me not be able to add well. 77.5%, 92.5%, 97.5%, and 100%. We did it. This should always become 100%. If it doesn't become 100%, it's probably a rounding issue in here, or you calculated something wrong. But that's what we mean by, like, cumulative frequency. This cumulative frequency is just really important for percentiles. Like, when they ask you, what percentile did you score in? Well, it just means, like, how they broke up the groups. And if you were in this, you're like, oh, I did pretty well. I was in the 97.5 percentile. Now this, I don't know what it's for. Oh, it's for radiation in baby teeth. So you probably would not want to be in a high percentile for this. Probably low percentile would be better if you were like, oh, I'm in the 5 percentile. Huzzah! Like I have low radiation in my teeth. But the cumulative frequency just means, like, we're going to add them as we go along. And it's just really, this way of looking at things is really useful. This percentage kind of tells you which group has the most people in it, where this one tells you kind of where you fall compared to everybody else. Like I'm in the 97.5 percentile. Like you'll see this cumulative frequency a lot in like SAT and ACT type things, because it's just easier to look at it this way. Try the different problems today. If you get stuck, let me know.